Station Gilgamesh.
Hubris. Art. Artifice.
You can still look away. You know, not to look. What is that thing? Oh, it's fascinating. What does it mean? Don't look. Look away. Look away. Oh, it's incredible. Is that the universe? It has you. The eye and the heart of the mystery. The Stromatolites. You try to pull away, but you're going to fall back in. It is a crystal ball. It is a planet, a galaxy. It is a journey. It is a prophecy. It is the story of our beginnings and perhaps of our end.
This image is a cipher. Does David Icke know it has been used as a visual on one of his YouTube audio blogs? Has he authorized or authored this image? I do not know. Would these motifs even mean anything to him? So how cheesy is that crystal ball? And who is its intended audience? The Stromatolites are there. Someone knows their significance. Is their presence in this picture intended as a subliminal clue preparing us for disclosure? Is their presence a hidden signal to members of some esoteric group? Or is someone trying to tell us something? Someone in great peril, wanting to make what is hidden visible. The word occult means hidden. We associate it with those who seek to gain power from a dangerous and often malevolent source. But what is being hidden from whom, and hidden by whom? Who is combining science and technology with occult symbolism? This is the trillion-dollar budget question. Is there any point in having a secret unless other people know you have a secret? Well, if the secret is worth protecting, yes, unless you want to intimidate with it. Pretending to have a secret can also bring power. If others can be led into suspecting you hold a great secret, if they believe they have seen that you are hiding something, but cannot quite see what you have hidden, and if their imagination is nudged and then allowed full play, yes, this can create the appearance of holding great power. bluff and counter-bluff, and the insanely stupid games of nation-states, and the machinations of elites within and across nation-states, we ordinary folk die in our millions. We learn about such things in history, but never forget history is the eternal present just slipped by. The stromatolites that kick-started life on our planet are found throughout the solar system. Some people out there know this. Let me recap on my journey to perceiving something hidden in plain sight. These pictures, and many others like them, are appearing in connection with conspiracy theory videos and material. Who on earth is making them, and why? NASA's artists' impressions of space locations contain the stromatolite motif, and we must not forget Stanley Kubrick, who used this motif in 2001: A Space Odyssey. Kubrick was associating with NASA several years before the Apollo landing. This souped-up mandala contains the stromatolite motif. On close inspection, the entire mandala is constructed from stromatolites, like a fractal image where each ball in the construction is made from many smaller versions of itself. This graphic, again from the same David Icke blog, is not 100% symmetrical. The symmetry is broken by a few loose balls near the visual centre of the image. This is a clue that the motif is intentional and aimed at somebody. I have superimposed the image of a stone from the beach, a piece of igneous rock that was molten when stromatolites covered planet Earth. Myriads of small stromatolites are embedded in the glass-like stone. I can find stones like this on local beaches in Dorset in the UK without difficulty. It would be wonderful if you too could seek these out. Pick up stones, wet them, and look for the speckled pattern. If you are lucky, you will see entire spherical entities, sometimes in clusters. I have managed to reveal them by photographing the stones and then enlarging the images to get a clearer view. I first noticed the existence of these entities while looking at pictures of the Martian surface. I promise to recap. I was watching lots of conspiracy theory and ET material on YouTube. I downloaded the images from NASA myself to follow the investigations. While searching for alien artifacts or chewing gum wrappers in images from Mars, I noticed the same sorts of small objects in picture after picture. I thought I could see macroscopic biology, things that looked like slugs and insects, and a creature that looked like a lizard. Other people were not convinced. But something was there. The images felt wrong. One thing that occurred in image after image was a small spherical entity, gleaming white with a round black patch. I discovered that if you turn up the brightness of an image, they are often in the shadows of rocks, sometimes alone, but mostly in groups. It slowly dawned on me that the rocks are made up entirely of layers of the spherical objects. I went back and looked at my creatures and realised that they too were made up of these orbiforms. In the open and alone, they are gleaming white. When stuck together in clusters, they may have a leathery orange crust. I now say the leathery crust is water ice, with tiny stromatolites and dust, and in the case of Mars, the famously orange planet, particles of orange iron oxides. Zooming into the sandy material on the ground, I discovered that the sand itself resolved into tiny versions of the same orbiforms. I looked at images from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. There were orbiforms so large they could be seen from space. The entire surface of Mars is encrusted with them. Great fissures in the uplands of Mars reveal a gleaming mass of orbiforms within. NASA is telling us these fissures and holes are ancient watercourses and volcanic calderas. Based on Earth geology, this could be true, but we are not looking at the Earth. At least not the Earth as it is today. In the Dawn of Man sequence from 2001: A Space Odyssey, there are orbiforms on the set. Kubrick's conception of the early human ancestors was set, apparently in Africa, on a surface covered in orbiforms. I knew that Kubrick had worked with NASA in the making of that film, but this research was turning into high strangeness. It has been claimed that Kubrick laid the groundwork for the faking of the moon landings. If this was the case, why were these objects from Mars on the set? Well, the moon is encrusted with the same material. Kubrick's crew in 2001: A Space Odyssey did extravehicular activities in pods, white spherical craft with a black circular window. I began to refer to the orbiforms as pods after the film. I watched a documentary on the origins of life on Earth. This revealed the living stromatolites and the banded rock formations found in Western Australia. A great revelation. It is believed that early plant life generated the oxygen in our atmosphere. These primitive plants are connected with the stromatolites and are thought to have made them, in the way that corals are built up, perhaps. I can offer a different explanation. Stromatolites are responsible for the oxygen of early Earth and are present everywhere in the solar system doing the same thing. It is the water on Earth, its size and gravity and its position in the solar system that have enabled the stromatolites to kickstart life here. Do stromatolites produce water molecules as well? The ice on Ganymede, the ocean under Europa, our own mighty seas. I checked the surface of every body that I could find images for. Our own moon, the moons of Jupiter, Phobos, Mars's moon, Mercury, the comet from the Rosetta mission, and more. I checked out meteorites. The stromatolites are present everywhere. By accident, I discovered local evidence of them in stones. The Earth was once also hundreds of kilometres deep in stromatolites. Due to volcanism and subduction, they have become incorporated into our mixed geology. You can find them in the rocks around you. So what are they, and where do they come from? Planets and moons are covered in them. Some moons, Phobos and Callisto for example, may consist entirely of them. They have evolved in the fastnesses of deep time, or they were engineered. Is it possible that our entire galaxy has been seeded? Perhaps many galaxies. The question is unanswerable by me. The implications are mind-blowing. I began here with a flashy graphical image, one of many that contains these entities. There are people out there who know and are not telling us. Who is hiding the information in plain sight? Is teasing us a game? The stromatolite phenomenon was known and explained to special people, and Kubrick was included in the secret. Who else? Kubrick was making his film years before the Apollo 11 landing. Did Roswell or the Nazi disc experiments equip the United States for forays into the solar system? Was the space race manipulated to frighten and to ruin the USSR and China, so they go mad investing in outdated rocketry, while the US can cart tin cans around the solar system in the TR-3Bs? Did the US really scrap the space shuttle with nothing better to use for forays into space? I only have a theory based on observation of images given by the very people I am questioning. Each stage of my journey has led me to the next, like a paper chase. 2 paper chases, in fact. One is following clues to the origins of life as we know it. The other is following powerful people who want to hide the facts while simultaneously draw power from them. Secrets within secrets.